Welcome back. I'm Richard Hosnote from Wisdom Inspired Life. I've been doing this occasional series on the challenges of living a wisdom inspired life because there are some real challenges. Having said that, and before I get into that in a deeper way, I want to remind you that there are a series of very good episodes about the benefits of living a wisdom inspired life and others on how to live a wisdom inspired life. So check them out. But I want to spend more time talking about the challenges because these really are the things that can block you for lifetimes if you're not capable of understanding them and starting to develop ways of getting these challenges out of your way. And I've talked about in previous episodes ignorance, ego, attachment, aversion, and there are others. But I want to go back and do a deeper dive into the topic of ignorance and ego. So let me start with a very bold statement that I believe to be true with every part of my being. I personally am ignorant of 99.999% of what there is to know. And I truly believe that virtually every other human is also ignorant in their own way of 99.999% of what there is to know. Now, the only exception to that is, interestingly, as AI emerges, AI is going to be more intelligent than any single individual, almost by definition for how it's constructed. But nonetheless, it has vast levels of ignorance too. So let's start from a point of recognizing, and it may be hard for you to buy into this. I get it. I don't say this casually. I know this to be true at a very deep level. So let me give you an overview of the challenges of ignorance. First of all, it distorts our sense of what right and wrong is because we don't have information that could make a vast difference in terms of what we determine to be right and wrong. In a similar way, it distorts what we consider to be good and evil because we have only a small portion of the picture. These are two mighty things that are just on quicksand. Knowing with great clarity and accuracy what's right and wrong and good and evil. Now, we have points of view on them, I no doubt, and we have reasons to believe that this is right and that's wrong and this is good and that's evil. I got that. But the point is, there's so much information that we're ignorant of that quite conceivably and most probably would change in a major way or in significant ways what we consider to be right and wrong and good and evil. It also applies to what we like and dislike. We have partial information, partial knowledge. So it leads us also to avoid those dislikes instead of using our free choice and following what is truly right and best when we get a higher guidance system than our ego, which I'll talk about in a moment. And here's something else that will challenge you, but again, I share it with you because all the wisdom texts I read, from Krishna to Buddha to Lao Tzu to Jesus to Paramahansa Yogananda, support what I'm going to say. Much of what we do not know, that 99.999%, is the most important information for humans. This is not the small stuff that we don't know. Yes, there's tons of small stuff we don't know, and it would make a modest difference in determining good and evil and right and wrong. But the stuff that we're really, really ignorant about is the most important information for humans. Okay? Now, this means that we have important beliefs and actions that are based on partial or even wrong information. Our actions, So many times we experience the law of unintended consequences. With we miss various options and possibilities. We get attached to things, we have aversions to other things, all of which are subject to the same challenges. So, briefly, what can we do to kind of deal with ignorance? Well, first of all, start off realizing that you are vastly ignorant. That, to me, when I realized I was ignorant of 99.99% of what there is to know, was an actually joyous moment because I love learning. And it said, wow, if I think life is good today, just imagine how much better it can be when I learn and I use that learning to create new things and to better understand the world and make better decisions, etc. Okay? So start by believing and recognizing that you are very ignorant, which means you have a tremendous opportunity to learn. Open yourself up to alternatives. When you have a belief or an option that you want to look at, do some plus and minus analysis. Just start questioning. I haven't looked at this belief or why I'm going to do this in any great depth. Let me take a closer look at it. Look at it objectively in a discriminative sort of way. And also vastly expand. You're diving into opportunities to learn and research new topics. This then becomes a lifelong journey, as it has for me. Okay? Now remember, in an earlier episode, I talked about my starting point in recognizing I was vastly ignorant was several decades ago, as I said, when you asked me, hey, Richard, do you know everything? And I would have answered something like, well, I may not know it all, but what I don't know is not worth knowing. That was an accurate statement of where I was at a point in time in my development. And I've made tremendous progress since then and have a tremendous way to go. But it makes life deeply enriching when you set out to learn those things that can help you make the world a better place, make yourself better, to serve humanity, to give, to care, to love.